Hi, Yasmin. Thank you very much for joining the CIO Association of Canada and our feature of Women in Technology called My Career in Tech. I'm really excited to have you here, and I thought we could start off by you telling me a little bit about your career and your current role, and also your role as a volunteer with the CIO Association of Canada.
Thank you, Lee. I'm very excited to be part of this. I am the head of technology and operations at LTI Canada and responsible of supporting a wealth management platform for mutual fund industry, where half of the industry runs through our platform. At the same time, I've joined CIO Association of Canada about 6-7 years ago and have been on the board for 3 years. I've ran and led the program's portfolio, and right now I'm a VP of Toronto chapter.
Wow, really wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and it's been really wonderful working with you together at the Toronto chapter on various events you've been hosting.
Thank you.
First question is, this year for International Women's Day, the focus and the theme is breaking the bias. This is how they want us to portray it. Yes, thank you. And it's really to create a world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. Now, we know in Canada, especially, gender diversity for women is very, very low. So I was just wondering how you've had to deal with the bias in our space in technology. And what are some examples of how we can improve overall creating inclusivity in the sector?
Thank you for that question. It is very important to acknowledge it. I've been in this industry all my career, but I was an immigrant about 30 years ago coming to Canada. And to be honest with you, I kept my heads down and focused on progressing and doing my job. And throughout that period, didn't really even notice the biases or impacts of that to me. In many forums, though, I certainly felt I'm the only woman, or I'm the only one that's talking openly. But that made me proud to be there, so that I can open it up for other women as well. But when I sit down and think back to my history, I can certainly see periods of times where the biases impacted my career. There's many cases where certain individuals took credit for the work we've done. Our voice weren't heard, and we couldn't really progress without pushing the barriers. So it is important to acknowledge that and really give an example to other women in the industry and give really opportunities for them consciously to help them progress in their career as we progress in our careers as well.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That's very important, and I appreciate you sharing your own personal experience. One of the things we just talked about before coming on when we started the call was why I was wearing white and green, and I was saying it was for the suffragette movement. These are the colors they wore with a bit of purple. And really, for me, it's always a reminder when I'm meeting with people, when I'm wearing it, that I'm a woman and I have a voice and I should have a voice. So I appreciate you sharing that. So I wanted to ask you about some of the awards you've won, and you've been nominated for awards, and really looking at empowering women and girls through STEM education. And really looking to build more women in tech that have come from STEM or STEAM, because I like adding the arts in there. But I'd love to learn more about your work in this area.
The spark in me, the passion about helping women in technology, really started with a program I attended when I was at Citigroup. They have a very strong women's program and a talent development program that I was part of that really helped me open up my eyes and progress in different ways in my career. It also showed me that I need to define my goals in my career path and voice them to others so that they understand what I'm looking for. As the opportunities arise, they can think of me to move in those positions. But I took that away, and then 7 years ago in my company, I started a program called Women for Women. It is a network. A number of us are driving activities that really align with our pillars that we define, the themes. And our goal is, of course, to help women progress in their career and expand the number of women that is in this career in our organization and elsewhere. I can tell you, in my organization, we actually increased female ratios in our India team to 45%. And we actually tied it directly to improvement in quality of our deliverables and decrease in attrition. We actually decreased by 10% at the time we increased female employees. In Canada, we have improved about 6%. But in addition, I was very happy to see that the organization took example from the work we've been doing in Canada, and they actually started a mentorship program. They named after me the awards that I've won, as well as I was really happy to be involved. And I can say I was really involved in both CIO Association and other organizations, women's organizations. I use those platforms to whether creating events, talking to people, creating actions, and that allows me to expand this goal, this passion I have in various forums. So I thank CIO Association also to give me that opportunity, that platform to expand this.
That's really incredible. So you looked at developing a model in the beginning that then expanded throughout your organization, and then you're sharing that model with others. I mean, that's the true form of real mentorship. Really, that's amazing, and just empowering, or I actually call it womentorship, and empowering other women to learn and grow and use these models that you've created. That's really incredible. Thank you for that. So I wanted to ask you what 3 actions you might take in your daily life to break the bias. Are there things that you just think of, or you go in a process at work and you're thinking of a project you're working on and you just put on your, I need to ensure that I'm thinking in a way that makes sense for this organization and help to break the biases out there? So are there things you do on a regular basis?
Absolutely. And, at every opportunity in the executive team meetings, I bring this subject clearly that we need to intentionally and consciously look at diversity and take actions, take decisions based on that. One of those would be identifying female leaders in our organization, the next level of leaders and layers of different layers in there, and trying to create opportunities for them, or think about them as the opportunities arise. We're not just going to create from nothing, but if there's opportunities, let's think about them first and give them the opportunity to prove themselves, to get involved. In addition, hiring for more female employees is another drive. There are learnings we've done around how to write resumes, what kind of language or requirements you put in there to attract more candidates, asking the agencies to provide us more diverse candidates. And then as we interview, if you find equal candidates, being a female gives you a bonus point as we hire. So we have intentionally done those things. And also, like I said, there's a lot of events and mentorship programs we're doing consciously in our organization.
That's wonderful. And those types of learnings you can, again, share and learn with other organizations or within our membership of the CIO. It's so important to share those types of learnings. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, the final question here for you, Yasemin, is what are 3 tips you could provide to women in the workforce just to help them along their career? I was talking to Catherine Chick yesterday about that question, and we talked a lot about woman-touring or mentoring. What are your tips?
There are a few tips I have. So the 3 I will specifically define are: 1, first of all, take opportunities. Women are very selective and they want to be absolutely sure that they're qualified to take an opportunity and they'll be successful. We know it's not the same with the other genders. So be courageous, trust yourself, and really go for opportunities that's in front of you. In my career, I certainly did not think twice when opportunities came up, jumped on them. Not all of them were extremely successful, but I learned a lot from those, whether they were successful or not, and it took my career forward. So certainly take opportunities, number 1. Number 2, we are typically humble. We don't like to brag about ourselves. However, we need to sell ourselves. We need to present very clearly what we accomplished, what we're responsible of, how we're doing, so that people around us can clearly see the value we bring to the table. If we don't, it may not be noticed. So sell yourself. And the third advice I have for women is find an ally, a sponsor, whether it's male or female, that could help you, guide you in your thought process, in your decisions, in your opportunities, wherever you need some support and help. It's great to have an ally, and it typically happens naturally. You connect with certain people and you notice they have a lot of great experience, but don't be afraid to ask them for advice and help. As you do that more, you'll find that relationship gets stronger and they become your natural ally and a supporter. That also takes you forward in many decisions. I still use the same for myself, and I have 1 or 2 people who are my allies, and they're my go-to people for decisions or direction in some cases.
I love it. I love all 3 of those tips. In fact, I think we'll use those when we promote this video. We're going to have those 3 tips there with your picture right beside it because they are really fantastic, and I will use some of those myself. Well, thank you so much for supporting the CIO Association of Canada through this interview. We really appreciate it. We're looking to empower and create knowledge around diversity and inclusion and equity in the workforce. And certainly you've provided us with a lot of excellent information and background on your own career. So I really appreciate you sharing. Thanks so much, Yasemin.
Thank you for including me. It was a great opportunity to share my thoughts. And I appreciate being part of CIO Association, which also helped me as a platform to drive this.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.